Hello students, in this session you are going to learn chapter 11 functions part 3. Contents of this session are scope rules of variables and scope resolution operator. Scope rules of variables. Scope refers to the accessibility of a variable, that is visibility of a variable. In other words, the scope of a variable is the area of the program where the variable is valid and used. And there are 4 types of scopes in C++. They are local scope, function scope, file scope, and the last one is class scope. Now let us see each scope one by one. First, local scope. A local variable is defined within a block. A block of code begins and ends with curly braces. Next, the scope of a local variable is a block in which it is defined. And a local variable cannot be accessed from outside the block of its declaration. And a local variable is created upon entry into its block and destroyed upon exit. So, in simple, local scope means the variables that are declared inside a function or a block are called local variables and are said to have local scope. These local variables can only be used within the function or block in which these are declared. Now let us see an example for local scope. Now look at this program. In this example, variables a and b are declared in the definition of the function multiply and are used within the function. These have no meaning outside the function. A and b are just the copies of the variables x and y, and they store their respective values. Here a and b are the local variables for the function multiply, and x and y are the local variables for the function main. Next, function scope. The scope of variables declared within a function is extended to the function block and all subblocks therein. Next, the lifetime of a function scope variable is the lifetime of the function block. So, variables declared in the outermost block of a function have function scope. They can be accessed only in the function that declares them. Whenever you declare a variable in a function, the variable is visible only within the function. You can't access it outside that function. This is called function scope. Next, file scope. A variable declared above all blocks and functions including main function has the scope of a file. The lifetime of a file scope variable is the lifetime of a program. And next, the file scope variable is also called as global variable. So, global variables will hold their value throughout the lifetime of the program. And a global variable can be accessed by any function in that program. So, the lifetime of a file scope variable is the lifetime of a program. Now, let us see an example for file scope. In this example, int g is declared above all blocks, that is above main function. So, it is global variable and it can be used anywhere in the program. So, the lifetime of that variable is the lifetime of that program. So, this is the use of file scope. and the last one is class scope. A class is a new way of creating and implementing a user-defined data type. So using class, we can create user-defined data types. And class provide a method for packing together data of different data types. So in a class, we can hold different data types together. We will learn about this class scope later in chapter 14, classes and objects. Next, scope resolution operator. The scope operator reveals the hidden scope of a variable. The scope resolution operator is used for the following purpose. That is, to access a global variable when there is a local variable with same name. So, the scope resolution operator is used for accessing global variable. For example, if the global variable name is same as local variable name, then the scope resolution operator will be used to call the global variable. Now, let us see an example for this scope resolution operator. So, in this example, the global variable x is 45. And next, main function. Inside that function, the local variable x is 10. Next, cout value of global x is given. So that will be displayed in the output. Next, scope resolution operator x is given. So the global variable will be accessed. So we will get 45 in output. Next, cout value of local x is given. So that will be displayed. Next, same x but without scope resolution operator. So local variable x 10 will be accessed and that will be displayed in the output. So this is the use of scope resolution operator. Next, today's assignment question is explain scope rules of variables. So with this, I conclude our class today. Thank you.